Okay, so this is Quideo number 2, and in this Quideo, we're given a problem where you're given this nice graph here, and for part A, they wanted us to draw a least squares regression line, which I plugged an equation into a calculator and got this, and then I also plugged in 50 and 86, which that's there, and there. I plugged it into the equation, and for 50 I got 56.95, which it's about there, and for 86 I got 71.8, which is about there. So that's how I got my line. And then for part B, it wants us to circle the point, which that's the point I did in orange, because they give us x is 67 and y is 61, so just go there, and wow, it's right there. And then they want us to find the residual, which in order to do that we plugged in 67 back into the equation, and we got 63.709, which, as you can tell, they're different. And then you subtract that from the 67, and you get negative 2.701 inches. The inches is very important. Okay, for the next part of the Quideo, it gave us these new coordinates, which had x at 84, and it had y at 71, which I graphed it, and it's right there, and it should be directly on the line, but I drew my line kind of wonky, so it's not. And if it was directly on the line, which it should be, the slope would remain the same, and that is because it is directly on the line, so it does not change it. If it was, say, down here below the line, then the slope would decrease, and if it was above it, then the slope would increase. And yeah, that's how that works. And then for part B, it asks us if the correlation would stay the same, decrease, or increase, and it would increase. And the reason for that is because it does go directly through it. It supports the correlation a lot more than, say, a point that is 3 or so away from the line. So the correlation would be much stronger, and you could say this has a very high correlation. Also, just to make a connection, I know it says there are 25 points, but you only see 22 on here, and using those 22 points, I tried to find a median, and I did that, and the x is about 70, and the y is about 64 inches, so it's about right there, but you don't know what the other points are, so you can only assume that, and yeah. Also, the equation they give us has y hat, which means that is the estimated equation, not the actual equation. And the way that works is y hat equals a plus b of x, which that is something a lot of people mess up. And in order to find these numbers, I plug them into the estimated equation using x.